Good day, race fans. I'm commentator Sandy Pondwater, coming to you from Frederick, Maryland, where Sail Wars presents the R2 DF65 Championships. Here are the sailors competing for the title. Number 463, Albert Chittard. Number 630, Winston Crowley. Number 78, Alan Chrissinger. Number 965, Chris Carpenter. Number 65, Mike Campbell. Number 93, Kyle Russell. Number 46, Mari Spina. Number 777, Bart Sailing Mahi. And number 353, Rob Dutton. The sailors have completed their skippers meeting, so let's go racing! Okay, here are our standings after race number 5. Bart currently holds the tiebreaker in first place, so he wants to make it a second year in a row of being the champion. Mike is battling hard. Mr. International has 13 points, actually tied in points with Bart. Rob is in third with 22 points. Albert has 24 points. Kyle has 25 points in fifth. Chris has 27 points. And Mari has 28 points in seventh. Alan has 31 points. And Winston has 34 points. Our current odds live from Vegas. Bart has moved up to being the odds-on favorite at 2-1. Mike is 3-1, so that's dropping a little bit, along with Rob and Albert at 3-1. Kyle is alone at 4-1. Alan, Mari, and Chris are at 5-1. And Winston is still at 9-1. So the odds have shaken up a little bit. As we see Bart have the best odds, as he's done really well and taken over first place from Mr. International Mike. Rob consistently is being consistent, so the odds makers are still rewarding him at 3-1. Now Albert is our kid who came out of nowhere, as he is up towards the top and doing very well in this regatta. So the racers are sailing around in their tactics for the start ready. Let's go ahead and watch the start.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Clear? And right off the start, we see him going. It's kind of very close in there. I don't see anybody fouling anyone. And right off the bat, looks like Bart takes the lead, followed by Rob and Chris. They all get a flutter in the sails as we see Albert shooting off on starboard tack, and he goes into the lead. Remember, they're racing 2 laps. They go down to the windward 2 marks, their offset marks up at the top. And before heading downwind to a gate, which is 2 marks, they go inside and decide which one they want to go out and around. And before heading back up to the start-finish line, they have to do this twice, as we see Albert have to duck Bart, as Bart was on starboard, Albert was on tack, or sorry, port. And now Albert jumps into the lead. So Wonder Kid Albert jumps into the lead in this race. He's been doing very well. Our past champion Bart is in second place. We see Mari way out front, as we see Rob, number 53, and Chris get a good puff as they shoot up there, followed by Mr. International Mike Campbell, number 65, in that yellow boat. They're all pulling up close to the 2 leaders, Albert and Bart. Now we can see mark number 2 over there by the fountain. Mark number 1 is closer off to the screen on the right hand side, where Albert is going and Bart is going. Albert's still in first place, followed by Bart. Chris is in third, I would say, and then Rob is in fourth, and here comes Mike Campbell. There they go. Albert kind of goes up, and is he going to hit? No, he avoids Chris. That was a close one right there. I'm not sure who would have been at wrong right there, as they were both on port. I believe Albert was downwind, so it would have been on Chris, but no foul is called and no harm was done. So good non-ghost call, I guess. And look at that, Bart has to duck Rob as Rob goes into the lead around mark number 1. And we have a little congestion up there, some little faking, and it looks like Chris is now in second place, so we have Rob in first place, Chris Carpenter's in second place, followed by Mari Spina in her black boat. And in fourth place, we have number 65, Mike Campbell, Mr. International, and followed by Mahi, number 777, being sailed by Bart. As they head downwind for the first time, Rob has got about a 7 or 8 boat lead on Mari. Mari pulls into second place, but Chris is right there battling it out. And don't forget, Mike was real close. As we look at the back of the field right there, we see Kyle just going around mark number 1, and I believe that was Winston at the back, still having problems with his jib. As we catch back up to the leaders, there's Mari in first place. Mike Campbell's challenging, he's in second. Chris is in third, and Mahi is in fourth, and Albert has dropped to fifth. Remember, Albert, the Wonder Kid, was in first at the beginning of this race. He's dropped back to fifth. He's hunting for the win with his sails right there. They're starting to bunch up a bit. This is still anybody's race. This is only the first lap. And look at that, way out front, Rob has got a great lead. I believe that's about a 10 or 12 boat lead. He's going towards the inside mark. The rest of the fleet has better wind as they are drawing him in. Look at that, catching up. Mari is right on his tail now as Rob makes his way around that inside gate. And it looks like they're pretty close right there. There's no contact by anyone, as they all do a good job of staying off. Oh, I believe Mike Campbell might have just hit Chris a little bit. They were both, I think, on the same tack, and Chris was the leeward boat, I believe. And look at this, Bart and Mahi powering their way to the front, as we see Albert right there. Somebody's fluttering down there around that mark, trying to get outside of that gate. Here's the middle of the fleet right there. There's Mahi, number 777. I believe he's in second place now behind Rob. Chris is in third, followed by Mike Campbell, number 65. We see Winston heading downwind right there. We caught up with our leaders right there. That's Rob in the red boat. Mahi, I believe Mahi's trying to take over first place. It's very close, and I believe Mahi may have first place right now according to where they're going to the mark. It's very close. They're really close. Both of them are exceptional sailors, and that's a beautiful boat, a beautiful little paint job on Mahi. That paint job's now going to have to be grandfathered with the new rules, and we've been watching him for several years, so I'm sure it will be as we catch up with that yellow boat of Mike Campbell. And look at this, Mahi coming across on port. He scampers in front of Rob to stay in first place. There we see Kyle is trying to take a whole different route to make up some water, and there goes Alan. Sometimes when you're behind the leaders, you have to take a risk, and they're both trying to go outside where they think the wind is going to be stronger, and then I'm sure they'll come steaming across on port tack to try to get to that mark. As we see Rob go around that mark, Bart was way out front. He has increased his lead, and Mike Campbell is in third place, that yellow boat. And there's Chris in fourth place, just trying to make his way around that tricky first mark. Then we can see just how big of a lead Bart and Mahi has got. That grinning Mahi coming downwind. He has his sails wide open, wing on wing. but the wind isn't being kind. He's not getting good pressure from the back. It's more from the side. He's adjusting his sails, trying to find the wind. You can see his wind indicator is over the side. He pulls his sails in, but it doesn't help. As we can see, Rob has his wide open and he's moving along. Then Mahi has his sails open, and we'll have to catch back up to them. As we can see, Mike is coming closer to the shore. He's more towards the middle, where Bart and Rob are farther out. Maybe the wind is better out there. Mike definitely has a straighter shot to the downwind mark if he takes the inside gate. There's Mike right there, number 65. He actually is gaining on Rob, number 53. Trying to reel him in as they go through the start-finish line. So all they have to do is go around through that gate and then back up to the start-finish line. Look at that. Mike gets a lot of pressure right there. He gets power in those sails and reels in a couple boat lengths. He's still going hard. He's really coming up fast on Rob. Bart seems to be keeping them both at bay as they head towards that mark. And Bart makes his way around that inside gate very quickly as he's going upwind. He's got a lot of speed, but Rob is trying to catch him as they head towards that finish line. Bart has to avoid Chris, and look at that. He loses the wind in his sail due to that. That gives Rob the break to reel him in. Let's see where that finish line is, how close they are. There's the finish line. So they are merely like 25 feet from the finish line. Bart has got about a 2.5, now a 3 boat length lead, maybe a 4 as he catches the wind again. And I believe Rob fell off a bit. And look at that. Number 777, Bart wins race number 6. And he's followed by number 53, Rob, who takes second place. And right on his heels is number 165, Mike, who takes third place. So very close, those first 3 boats after 2 full laps in this wind. Finishing that close, that's very respectable for all 3 sailors. What a match they had right there. And they were well ahead of the rest of the fleet. Those 3, none of them wanted to give up. That's just kind of the competitors. I think from my vantage point, I could hear the crowd cheering them on, their respective crowds. They were cheering them on, and all 3 of those sailors were doing everything they possibly could to get their boats across that finish line as quick as possible. You saw them fishing with their sails, letting them in and out, trying to fight for that win, and it was just it was a great example of what you have to do to win in RC sailing. As we see the 4th place boat just now coming across, and that is our expert sailor number 965, Chris, who is also a member of Team Sail Wars. And look at this, there's a battle going on for, what is it, 5th place. Both of those boats are about equally matched, and they're about an equal distance from the line. But wait, we missed number 93, Kyle. Kyle had snuck in there. It was kind of hard. I must have missed him in the reflection in the lake. And number 93, Kyle, ends up taking 5th place. So the real battle coming, that close battle, was for 6th place as they both were coming to the line. As we see Winston trying to avoid the mark. I think he's just trying to get out of the way of the finishers because he doesn't, want to get in their way. So he's kind of staying closer to the shore. He may be bringing it in to do some work. As you can see, his jib is kind of staying in and his mainsail's going out. It's just something is not right with that boat. As we see, Mari has gained a little bit of a lead over Alan now. And they were both pretty equal, about 35 feet out, but Mari finds the wind better than Alan as Mari comes across and takes 6th place, leaving Alan behind. But we can see Alan finally finds the wind right there, and I'm sure he's going to finish in front of Albert as he comes to light. I bet he wishes he caught that wind earlier. and wouldn't have had to settle for 7th place because him and Mari were right there together. And that's just what it comes down to sometimes. Finding the win and keeping the win and getting that boat moving and across the line. As we see Albert right now, he is fishing for the win. I believe he accidentally hit the stick the wrong way right there because it just didn't make sense for him to turn to the go on starboard tack right there. He could have just stayed on the starboard tack and not totally twisted his boat. He kind of had a weird tack. Now he goes back over on port as he's trying to come to the finish line. He may have something on his keel. And there he comes to the line as number 463. Albert takes 8th place. And so we're going to finish Winston in place as he takes 9th place. So congratulations to our top 3. And we have a Team Sail Wars at the top. Number 777, Bart with Mahi. Number 53, Rob's in 2nd, and Mike, Mr. International, finishes 3rd. Our current standings after 6 races. Bart is firmly in 1st place now with 14 points over Mike, who has 16 points. Rob is in 3rd with 24. Kyle has 30. Chris has 31. Albert's in 6th with 32. Mari's got 34 points in 7th. Alan has 38, and Winston has 52 points. So the battle up top between Mike and Bart goes on, and Rob is right there. Our volunteers, and the way you can thank us is by subscribing, and thank you very much for watching our videos, and especially when you like them. If you're a club webmaster, we beg you to put the Sail Wars homepage. Copy and paste the link, put it on your club's website, let your members know so they can become partners with us in our site of Sail Wars. When you get to our homepage, you'll see something that looks similar to this. It has all the playlists, all the videos, you can click on them. You can even subscribe here on the homepage. It's real easy, totally free. And of course, check out the Best of Sail Wars. This is where we put our favorite videos. You can look up boats, different types of boats, different types of races, how-to videos, everything like that we have on the Sail Wars homepage. So make sure you check it out. And make sure you join a great club near you like the Northern Maryland Model Yacht Club. Look them up on the internet. And of course, we love the AMYA. So, this is Sandy Pondwater. I'm staying here at the races, so I'll see you at the next race. Thanks a lot for watching.